They're off and racing to the massive roar of the crowd, sending her forward, putting her right on the speed. Epic finish to the Everest. What a daring ride. Bella Nipotina wins the Everest. A thriller there at the end.
With Tim Gilbert and Julie Snook, this is Racing Dreams, the Everest.
And we are just literally days. We are eating the dates off the calendar to get to spring.
Yes. Maybe we should both stop eating.
Yeah, we're both lamenting that both these jackets used to actually... Anyway, they used to go up. Anyway, we've got a big show. Enough of us and big show on the way. Take a look.
Trainer Bjorn Baker joins us live in the studio as his stable of stars prepare for another stellar spring campaign.
The countdown, as I mentioned, to the 2025 Everest underway in spectacular style.
Have a look at that. And jockey Molly Bourke jumps out of the saddle and into the ring for a very worthwhile cause. Well, racing returns to Rosehill Gardens today for San Domenico Stakes Day.
Nick Burney live in the Sky Racing studio. Morning, Nick.
Morning, Tim and Julie. Yes, it's San Domenico Stakes Day, and what a key date it is on the calendar year for especially these young horses. So the 2-year-olds, could they now make that progression as a 3-year-old? Some handle it, some don't. We get to see the return of Wadton. He ran second in the Golden Slipper. And then also, it's been Raging Force. It's been all the rage in the betting. $2.30 now. They went up back there at $3.50 on Wednesday. And the Group 3 up and coming. Don't forget that race, recent history. What about this for a superstar might come out of this race? 2 years ago, we had Tom Kitten, and then last year was Autumn Glow. So on the meeting today, though, we're on a soft 5 surface. Can you believe it? Off the heavy 10 last week to a soft 5. I think they might get slightly off the fence, and on pace might be that bit of an advantage. But I've got to bounce back. Last week was terrible. I'm ready to try and back a few winners today, guys.
Yeah, you had a shocker last week, but we'll forget about that. We call it fish and chip shop paper in the business. It's gone. You can't do much about it. Let's go forward. Let's march forward. It's all we can control. Best bet. What's your best bet today?
Yeah, I do like this one. I'm going to go to race 5. This is a Chris Waller import by the name of Tazima. So as the vision rolls, he's the horse that gets all the way to the outside in the black colours there with the white and checkered hat. Now, this was Wednesday grade, but he's had 3 starts here in Australia and he's just improved every start. So he comes down the outside here, and I just loved how he wanted to hold his action through the line. Looking at his splits, he actually ran one of the fastest final 200-metre sectionals on the program. But the big plus today is he gets out to 2,000 metres. He's 4th up. And Sienna Grimer rode it absolutely perfect this day. It was a great ride. She's an apprentice, but you get Tommy Berry on board today from that soft draw. I think he can settle that a little bit closer. I think he's the big improver, where a couple of these have been up for some time. So around that $2.90 quote, as I just checked before, he looks what the best bet on the program out there at Rosehill Gardens today.
Yeah, with Tommy Berry on board and a finish like that, that is one to keep an eye on for sure. Who's your next best for the day?
Yeah, I thought this horse should be close to favourite, so I'm going to go later on in the program. That's race 7, and that is Rosalind Star. So he had 497 days off the scene, so it's a long time. He's the horse in the red there with the white cap. So as I said, with that time off, he was 3 wide throughout here, and the race was run at a genuine tempo, so he actually accelerated off that. And I thought he was going to kick away here, but just after doing all that work over the final 50 metres, it just told they're late. So he's another one of these runners where he gets the big barrier change today, so he can either sit outside the leader or take a sit behind the leaders. He's going to get that much more economical run, just conserving energy. The only thing in the back of my mind is sometimes when horses are off a long break and they have that second up run, can be a little bit flat. But we're getting $5 to find out. And if he produces his best, I actually marked him close to favourite. I think he's a great bet around that $5 quote, and I'm happy to find out if he handles the 2-week break off the long spell.
There is a second up syndrome, isn't there, sometimes? There is with some horses. It's the twilight zone on occasions. Now, what's your value bet? I love a little bit of juice on a bet.
Yeah, I'll never forget you, Tim. I've always got around the $8 quote here. I'm looking for one there'll be one that comes later on in the season around that $26, $31 quote. But Emirates, my old friend Emirates. So he promised me the world when he was a 2-year-old, but nothing went right last campaign. He hit a very heavy track up at the Gold Coast first up, and then he had to go straight to 1,600 metres second up. So I'm going to put a line through that campaign. He's the horse in the red on the outside here. So James McDonald tried him up this morning. Tommy Berry goes on for race day, but as you can see there, he's not wearing any blinkers, and I just really liked how he went to the line. So sectionals aren't everything, but that's a trial, and he came home very fast splits, but the blinkers go on for race day. So when Chris Waller does that first up, he puts the blinkers on them. It just rings alarm bells for me. He wants to see something from this horse. They're going to go at a nice, genuine speed. And if Emmerich can bounce back to anywhere near his best, I think he could be too classy for these. And at $8 again, I'm happy to find out. All
right, well, this week we've gone even further out wide. Who have you got?
Well, Julie, you said that I can, this season I like betting in the country and the provincials as well. And you said you opened it up to me, and I said absolutely perfect. Let's go straight to Kembla Grange. This is a bit of a shorty, but in race 4 today, you're going to see a horse called Samarel. So it's a bit of a break between runs, but he's the horse, or she, I should say, is the horse there out the back in the yellow hat. So this was on its debut performance, and it was a very fast run race, and she just handled it with a lot of style. So they didn't have a lot of luck there, couldn't come through at the right time. But as soon as that gap appears, for a horse on debut to sprint like the way she did, how she held her action through the line, I thought she could only bounce off this. She's had a tick-over trial between runs. She gets out to 1,400 metres. Down at Kembla Grange today, we've got an improving surface. But the horse that ran second there, that was called the Stars. It subsequently ran really well as well. So they ran good time there. The form's been stacked up. Shorter price, but I think Samarel can get the cash today for us.
All right, well, let's have a look. Get your phone out, get your pen and paper out, and let's have a look at the day's racing from Nick's Tips. Who are you going with here? There's your best bet. There's your next best. I'll leave it with you, Nick.
Best bet, race 5, number 11, that is Tazima. My next best will be Rosehill Stars, race 7, number 3. I did think the Emirate was the value, race 10, number 15, and we'll go out wide with Samarel, race 4, number 5 there at Kembla Grange today.
When I had a crack at you at the start, Nick, I must put my hand up. I went worse than you did. So generally speaking, your hit ratio is very, very good.
Tim, we all have off days, just about bouncing back. But yeah, look, I think we can get some money today. And then, you said the fish and chip shop. Maybe we get some Thai takeaway. Maybe we can just go that next step. It's still early in the season. No fine dining yet, but we can keep building the bank.
Yeah, some fish cakes, a little bit of pad Thai. Love to. All right, good on you. Good to talk.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, guys.
Well, all eyes are on the San Domenico Stakes today at Rosehill Gardens. Shaping up to be a spectacular day out there too.
Yeah, Raging Force and Woden are battling it out for favouritism. But another big chance, of course, is the Chris Lees trained Rivellino. Now, I caught up with Chris just after another promising horse from his stable, won midweek. Take a look.
All the rage here is Cantiamo in the opener. James McDonald took the time to ride this filly in an explosive trial win at Gosford on July 23. And as a result, she's skinny odds off that trial. Solar Dance moves in, the last to move in, and we're ready to go. The first on this 8-race card in the Roffin Racing. Autumn Blonde jumped well. Solar Dance ridden out wide out. The favourite Cantiamo is going to take a drop on them. Third under restraint with Nullarbor Jane improving. Cantiamo's trying to close in the outside. Nullarbor Jane and Cantiamo. Cantiamo inch by inch is getting there. Cantiamo drew level with Nullarbor Jane, and the hot favourite will win. Just Cantiamo by a head on the line to Nullarbor Jane.
Yeah, nice filly. Didn't win by a big margin, but she's a filly we've got a bit of time for, and it was a slowly run race. So she had a bit of work to do and got the job done, but there'll be a lot of improvement in her going forward.
Now Rivellino going in with outrider Jason Collett. And Rivellino moves up now to the outside draw. The third favourite for this. Shaggy is the $2.50 favourite from barrier 2. Looking to make it 4 out of 4. We're all set to go. And they're racing. Shaggy jumped well, showing good master. Valedictorian was fast into stride, wide out, and Shaggy goes to join it. Rivellino hitting the line well. Quietly Arrogant goes back to the rails. It's Valedictorian, Rivellino that beat off Shaggy. Skyhook and Quietly Arrogant are surging. Quietly Arrogant going after Rivellino. Rivellino, though, has got them covered. Rivellino, a narrow winner of the Skyline. A photo for the miners. We're ready to run in the Inglis Millennium. $2 million in prize money. and they're off and racing in this year's edition. The runs are coming from everywhere, and moving up in the centre, Price Tag. Rivellino's letting down on the outside, an open secret between them, but Rivellino charging away now, rattling home within the law. Rivellino wins the English Millennium a half length. Rivellino sitting back in the field, he's a class act.
Rivellino will race on the 30th. Looks like a perfect Golden Rose horse.
He does. Look, you want to see how they come back. A lot of, 2-year-olds racing at that high level. You want to see him come back and maintain that level. But everything would indicate that he's come back in really good order, and he'll have 2 runs into the Golden Rose.
The Sydney Spring's brilliant, isn't it? It's good to see it in good weather as well. But what else are you looking forward to with your crew?
I think Adelaide River's a horse that you can see figure in some of the better races. He's had a long break and he's back now as a gelding. He's a horse that we've got a bit of time for.
And the Sydney Spring, obviously highlighted by the Everest later in the spring, and this exciting Hong Kong sprinter, Kaying Rising. David Hayes says the best he's ever trained. He's trained a few good ones. Yeah, well, he's as good a judge as there is. He's had the right ammunition over the years, so if he says it's that good, and he looks that way, so he's only got to travel down. He's going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, we'll watch that with interest. Of course, it is Rosehill Gardens today, the San Domenico Stakes.
And that is where we find the ATC's Brett Devine. Good morning, Mr. Devine. Welcome back to Racing Dreams.
Good morning to you, Julie. Good morning, Tim. Good morning to all the punters, and welcome back to Rosehill Gardens here. What a spectacular day weather-wise we've had. For the week has been really good, but today's just absolutely perfect. It's beautiful. Great to see the sunshine out, and we're only a couple of days away officially from spring, but today really has a spring feel in the air, not only with the weather, but also with the talent on track, and you've just touched on a few of them there.
Soft 5, virtually perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely perfect, Tim. Soft 5. I'm sure all the jockeys, the horses, everybody, the punters will be looking forward to getting back onto a good to soft track. And it is a soft 5, but there's a little breeze out here, lots of sun, so it should improve through the day, and track's in great condition. Dave Morrison and the team here have worked tirelessly through the wet weather to present this track. And yeah, if you're out somewhere out near Rosehill Gardens, come on out. It's going to be a great day, and a great day for charity too.
We're just having a look at some of the drone shots of the track. They have done a spectacular job out there. The sun is shining. It looks sensational. We did touch on it just a moment ago, Brett. Some star 3-year-olds in action today for the San Domenico. Some big names out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the time of year where the 2-year-olds, the boom 2-year-olds, they come back as 3-year-olds, and the punters have to line up whether some of those horses have improved or whether the others have caught up to them. And so horses like Woden and Raging Force are a good example. Woden finished second in the Golden Slipper and ran in big Group 1s, whereas Raging Force, who's been backed, is coming through the winter. So it's something to weigh up for the punters all through the day, but certainly some bigger fields and 2 great 3-year-old races on the day, but bigger fields all through the race day. I wanted to mention clubs New South Wales West Metro region. This is the 35th year out here that we've partnered with this great organisation of clubs all through the western suburbs of Sydney, and they support a charity this year called Little Wings, and Little Wings flies sick kids and their families across New South Wales for treatment. So a really, really worthy cause. We'll have about 500 or 600 people out in the Grand Pavilion here today. So really grateful for the support of Clubs New South Wales, and a great race day to partner with. Yeah,
that is a great cause. Now, can you believe, changing tack a little, that we're now less than 50 days from the Everest?
Unbelievable, Tim. We're already a month into the racing season, but the Everest is coming around very, very fast. Of course, this year it's going to be absolutely spectacular with Kaying Rising coming, the hot favourite from Hong Kong, one of the world's best sprinters, to take on our very best. And as you say, with just 50 days to go, interest continues to build every week. Slots continue to be filled, and can the world's best sprinter come and take our money, or will we again show why we're the world's best sprinting country and knock off the hot pot? But plenty of tickets have been sold already for the Everest, Tim. We sold out last year 3 days in advance. General admission tickets sold out 3 days in advance of the actual race. This year we're expecting to sell out about a month before the way the tickets are going at the moment. They're about 4 times ahead of what they were last year. So the interest in the race is phenomenal. It will sell out. We'll have a sold-out crowd. And if you don't get a general admission ticket and don't get them soon, the only way to get there is to be a member of the Australian Turf Club to guarantee your spots. So lots going on here in Sydney. We had a huge day last week, didn't we, with the Winx Stakes and the return of Via Sistina. My mate Robbie, he still hasn't calmed down. He's Via Sistina's biggest fan, and we had a great day out there with some guys. So looking forward to more big races as they come up.
Yeah, it is a beautiful time of year. You don't want to miss out on the richest race on turf. You don't want a bit of FOMO this year. So get out there, get your tickets. Brett Devine, lovely to see you.
Yeah, great to talk to you, Julie and Tim, and good luck to all the punters.
Thank you, Brett. Still to come on Racing Dreams. We're live to Warwick Farm with trainer Joe Pride.
Plus, later in the show, the young jockey boxing for a worthy cause. We will have that story coming up with Molly Bourke a little later.
It is good to have your company on Racing Dreams. Our next guest on the show finished second in the Metropolitan Trainers Premiership in 2024-25 with a whopping 90 winners. I love the word whopping.
Whopping. And welcome back to Racing Dreams, Bjorn Baker.
Thank you very much for having me.
And Personality of the Year, you won that.
That's right, yeah. And no, it's good. I'm very lucky. I love what I do. I love promoting the game, and no, it's great. It's been an amazing last sort of season, and then we all start again on zero. So it's a big task. I've got a Mount Everest in front of me in more ways than one. It's going to be a tough season, and spring's always tough.
How do you fit it all in? Third in the Bart Cummings Medal Award, New South Wales, New South Wales Racing Writers Personality of the Year. You've been over to Europe. You're allegedly running a marathon tomorrow. You stay upbeat, bring all the energy. How are you doing it?
Well, I'd like to say to all my clients that
and future ones
and future ones and past ones that their horses are much better prepared than I am for the marathon tomorrow. So, funnily enough, I won the Star of the Year, New South Wales Star of the Year with the Arapaho, and I've also got the worst stayer in probably the world and myself tomorrow in the marathon. So, no, it's going to be a battle tomorrow, and I won't have too much energy tomorrow night. But looking forward to it. Of course, it's one of the majors now in terms of running. So the 7th major marathon, so that's exciting. And of course, today, race day, we're always upbeat and excited.
The idea of you doing a marathon is almost giving me an ACL injury. But I do want to, look, I know you're on zero now because we're ahead of the spring, but let's reflect. We do have time to reflect and smell the roses. You've had an amazing past year. 90 winners, including the Doncaster with Steffi Magnetica, and you mentioned the mighty Arapaho in the Sydney Cup.
Yeah, and he's been a stable stalwart. He's remarkable. So it's fitting that he actually won it. He won it in track record time too, so it was a remarkable effort. And he's Steffi Magnetica, and that was the thrill of my training career, to win a race like the Doncaster, a Sydney-esque race. We know Sydney has the strongest, toughest, best racing week in, week out. And to win a historical race like this with such a special mare was so special that day, and I can't wait to her to come back. She'll be running on the 13th at Rosehill in the Theo Marks, and I think she's in for a really good preparation. There's a perfect race for her on Everest Day, the King Charles, for $5 million. I think over a mile at Ramwick, replicating what she did in the Doncaster. It's exciting.
Well, speaking of, we had a little bit of a gallop around the Randwick Kensington track. We didn't, I certainly didn't, but Pericles and Steffi did. What did you make of that? How'd they look?
Yeah, I thought they're both great, and Pericles is a really well-performed horse too. He came second in the Doncaster last year, and he's really exciting to pick up a horse like him. And he's won over $5 million, of course, for Godolphin, and one of the racing superpowers around the world. And he's going to kick off next Saturday, the 6th, in the Tramway, which looks to be a pretty good race for him, 1400 first up. And I couldn't be happy with how he's going. And it's like when you get a horse like him in the stable, it's like getting a Formula One motor car. You're very excited and can't wait for him to get underway.
You've got quite a few horses today. Nikosi up, and you've got Crown the King in the up and coming.
Yeah, he's exciting, Nikosi. He was very good last time. He's definitely stepping up, but I think he is going to be a good stayer going forward. Crown the King's not out of it. He's very fit and well, and of course he's got those Derby colours on, and they do such a remarkable job at finding great value horses. So it's a jump up. I think he'll be better over further, but from gate one, I think he can be right. If he's not leading, he'll be close to it, and he was very, very dominant this day.
Oh, very dominant. Let's look at Crown the King a little bit more in depth for the up-and-coming stakes as well. Smaller field for this one.
Yeah, it is, and one scratching as well. So it's definitely worth having a punt. He was good last time, and probably a similar grade of race. And I think he's not out of it.
Dance. This is Crown the King here. But what about Dance to the Boom? I used to do that years ago at Blue Light Discos.
I did think of you when I saw that.
Not so much anymore. More to Mondo Rock and Dragon and that kind of era. But here's Dance to the Boom.
Well, I'm hoping the music can help me out tomorrow, but she's going really well. She won her first three. She had excuses in the autumn. Her track work on Tuesday was electric. She's got a great gate today. I think she's a really good each-way bet, and I think she's going to go on to better things. She's a stakes winner already.
She looks good in that trial.
Yeah, she was very good that day, and she's just a lovely-looking mare with plenty of quality. So I think she'll go very well.
Also today, Fleet Commander race 5, our Anchorage race 9, Disney race 10. It's all happening. What are you looking forward to this spring? It is a big spring.
I've got Perfumist too in the last, and I think she's a really good chance back on top of the track. What I'm looking forward to this spring, Steffi Magnetica, Pericles. I've got some nice, and I think she'll be one of the leading. She's one of the leading 2-year-old fillies, but within the law, she was great last week. She'll run next Saturday, and I think when she gets up over 1,400, and there's a good race for her early October in the Flight Stakes, so she's very exciting. I've got another good 2-year-old called OLA that won the Magic Millions, and keep an eye out for all of Derby's, including Stable, Stalwart and Star Overpass. He might not be in the Everest, but he's in the Everest Consolation. He won it last year. I think he'll win it again.
Doesn't mind Western Australia, just quietly. And personality of the year, obviously, we'll wind it up here, but you must feel like you are a personality.
I don't know about that. Adrian Body won the inaugural running last year. He shook my hand. He said, "Well done." I said, "They said a low bar, Ado." But he's a good mate and great guy. And no, it is. I love doing what I do, and I'm probably very lucky I can be myself and try and promote racing. And anybody that hasn't been involved, it's the greatest game. It's ups and downs. That's what makes it so special.
Good to see you. Run well tomorrow and today.
All the luck. I've got a big problem tomorrow. Gravity. That's my main problem.
Please don't go anywhere just yet.
Otherwise he'll be injured with the microphone. But he's okay. He's got to get to the track and get running tomorrow.
Big day ahead. Also a big day ahead for our next guest. We are going to bring in trainer Joe Pride, who joins us. I know it's been a big morning for you, Joe. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, great. Good to be here.
Chow Wolf, what a horse.
Yeah, he's returned really well. So, and I think was always going to. He's still maturing. 5 years old now. 20 starts into his career. I think we're about to see him at the peak of his powers, which is an exciting prospect. Given he's already won 2 Group 1s.
He's always been a bit of a stable favourite, this one, hasn't he? Especially with that son of yours.
Yes, yeah. No, he's an easy horse to like. He's an amazing athlete to train. And a pretty special personality, so you'd leave Bjorn for dead.
He's just walked out of the studio.
He's just walked out. He's running. He's doing the marathon tomorrow. All right, now, what about Marzu?
Look, Marzu's going well. He's travelled down to Melbourne in good shape. He's going to enjoy any precipitation that falls today, which looks like they've already had a bit. And has trialled particularly well. I love seeing old horses jump well in their trials and show speed like he's done. He's ready to go today. He'll enjoy those Victorian conditions.
We're just watching that trial now. He does love that little bit of give in the ground, but does he still have that love for racing?
You'd have to ask him, but every indication from our perspective and measurements we take, I'm going to say he does.
That's good to hear. He's one of the favourites. Your Zoo Star mare resumes today in race 7 as well. I don't want to get the name wrong.
Yeah, Cosmonova. She's going well. Very competitive mare. Generally takes a run or two sometimes to get to a peak. So should have a flashing light on her today. But watch out for her next run. And it might be as soon as Friday. I might run her in the Mona Lisa. Back her up on Friday. So she could have a busy week on.
I've penciled Estadio Mustar in my little book today, paying around that 460. Loves
Rosehill, always races well there, and it's interesting the way he profiles in this race. He's against a lot of stayers and a lot of horses, probably not with this not as a target race in mind. Whereas with him, he's absolutely at peak fitness. Ran on Sunday in the Goulburn Cup, and I think with his record at Rosehill over this sort of trip, he'll be very hard to beat.
And just before we let you go, your old mate Private Eye, how's he going?
Yeah, fantastic. Just a pleasure to have around. It was great to see him go to Caulfield a couple of weeks ago, and he'll be next week. He'll go to Randwick for the tramway, and be very competitive there.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. It's a busy morning. I just want to say, and we said it to Bjorn as well, we really appreciate you coming on your grand final day for a chat. Enjoy it.
Great. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Joe. And stay with us. We catch up with Brad Widdop next after his savvy filly showed her style in the Silver Shadow. What's next for the stables? That's coming up after the break. Welcome back. You're watching Racing Dreams. There's never a dull moment in racing, and to bring us up to speed with the latest news, the Daily Telegraph's Shano Cass joins us in studio this morning. Good morning, Shano.
Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Timmy.
It is my favourite few minutes of the week when it comes to work. Shane O'Cass. Before we look at today's racing, a big night for the industry this week. We just mentioned that the marathon runner himself, Bjorn Baker, got Personality of the Year, and understandably so.
Incredible. Yeah, look, a great man, isn't he, Bjorn? He's very funny. He just enjoys racing probably more than any other trainer. You know, he lets him, he's hard on his sleeve at the races. He's always jumping up and down and smiling. He'd be a great man to own a horse with, Bjorn, because he's always happy.
What about Echo?
He's going to be very tired tomorrow. Well, talking of great trainers, I mean, we're looking at one now, Chris Waller, an incredible 15th consecutive Trainers Premiership in Sydney for Chris Waller. And, you know, when you think this is a young man, not that young now, but he came here as a young man with just one horse from New Zealand, and now he's set himself up as a true industry sort of and racing icon. I mean, he's had champions that we'll be talking about for 100 years, and he's done a lot of it with James McDonald, of course, another Kiwi who came here as a boom apprentice, you know, almost as long ago. And you know, McDonald has now equalled Ronnie Quinton, and he's getting very close to George Moore. And you know, anybody who knows who George Moore was, I mean, he is the jockey's jockey, and McDonald's done it. So, you know, congratulations to Chris Waller. It does mean a lot to him. I mean, we see Chris Waller cry a lot, and you know, I can guarantee it is absolutely real, because it means just everything to him. And he cares if he wins at Kembla, he cares if he wins the Everest, you know, which he's done. He's done the Big Four. He's won Melbourne Cups, Caulfield Cups, Everest, Golden Slippers, everything, and it's recognition that it is well and truly deserved, because he's a hard worker, and he may have the numbers, but he's got the success, you know. And you know, I think a lot of people would say good luck to him, because he'll be around a lot more. He's got to do another 15 though, Timmy, to get equal to Tommy Smith, or another 18.
A lot of those tears are tears of joy. The bank balance
the bank balance keeps rising. But I do think sometimes we forget here in Sydney, particularly, we're spoilt for choice, but we see these two gents, Chris Waller, James McDonald, week in, week out, especially James. He's only young. What he's doing is quite extraordinary.
Well, that's right. I mean, when you think about jockeys, I mean, they're not like tennis players or football players. They kind of hit their peak around in their 30s, because they've got all the nous how to read races, and they can do the form. They've built up relationships with trainers over all those years, and they get physically stronger.
He's got great percentage, though. Wins every...
Well, he's 28%. He was running at 28% last season. He was running at 20% in Sydney, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're riding 1 in 5, every one of them is winning in Sydney, when, you know, he's not always on the best horses, but he just puts them in the right spot. I know people have argued the point that this isn't true, but I've never seen James McDonald ride a bad race.
He could win on a rocking horse, that bloke. Now, what about up and coming stakes today? Let's look at Rosehill.
Yes, well, we've got two interesting races, both for the new 3-year-olds. And I know it's been said on the program a couple of times before, but it is worth saying again, when 2-year-olds turn into 3-year-olds, so much can change. I mean, the 2-year-olds that were very good last year might not be the 3-year-olds that are very good this year. Absolutely, because some are more mature, they're quicker maturing horses, some are just stronger. But now that they're 3, a lot of these other horses can catch up. And look, the field today, we're having a look at a horse here called 60, who's just really come from nowhere, trained by Chris Waller, of course. He was winning here at the midweeks on the Kensington track. He didn't beat a whole lot, but he's just put them to the sword there. And Chris Waller doesn't normally just bang a horse into a group race after winning a midweeker, but the way that this horse won and the potential that he's got a good pedigree, he's obviously lightly raced. You have to try him out in this sort of level, and so much to the point that it's not a throw at the stumps. The horse is actually favourite to win the race. So the punters, the professionals, they can see that there was so much merit in that win, just the time and the progression that this horse is on.
And a couple of those 3-year-old races will have a bearing on the Golden Rose, as we've already said, maybe even Everest as well. What do you think of this San Domenico field? We've got those Golden Slipper stars back.
Well, the first 5 in the Golden Slipper in the race today all ran in the Golden Slipper, and there's only 7 horses in it. So we've got 5 of the 7 Golden Slipper runners. We've got a Blue Diamond winner. We've got the Golden Slipper runner-up, Woden. And look, yet again, all the talk is Woden. He gets a lot of column inches in the newspaper. A lot of people talk about him. He's a boom horse, unlike few others, only because the potential that he has. He could win a Golden Rose. He could win a Golden Eagle next year. He could win pretty much anywhere. He could win a Doncaster, but he hasn't yet. So there comes a time when Woden has to start doing something. He, like your old horse, Timmy Stormboy. We kept saying that Stormboy was the far lap, but he never reached the potential that he had, and he's now at stud. Will Woden do that?
Let's verify the fact that I actually don't have any ownership of Stormboy. That was just a metaphoric association that I had with Stormboy. Unfortunately, I wasn't at that Penrith pub that day when Gay Waterhouse was selling it.
Just to clarify.
Unfortunately. Anyway, the Mounties Group Handicap, race 9.
Yeah, look, there's a Metropolitan Handicap coming up, a race that I love because I love the staying races, and it's got a big bearing on some of the races deeper into the spring. And it's a horse called Half Yours that's in there today. It's trained by Tony McAvoy, who, of course, is famous for Sunlight and other things, recently inducted in the Hall of Fame in South Australia. This horse came to Sydney and took off at the 800 and won by half the length of the straight. It was unbelievable. Then at its last start, it won the Caloundra Cup on the Sunshine Coast, which may not sound like the world's greatest race, but it's a 2,400 metre handicap, and that's exactly what this horse is. He is a handicapper, and he's going to go through all those big cup races, but his main aim is the Metropolitan. I don't think he'll win today. Even the trainer was sort of suggesting that this is plan B because he was washed out the trial. He was not going to the Chelmsford, and he's drawn in the car park. But if he runs well, and that's all they really want to see him do, I suppose, he can strengthen his grip on that favouritism.
You can never underestimate Caloundra because that was the first race of the string for Winks. Larry Cassidy won the first race of the...
Absolutely.
At Caloundra.
Oh,
anyway,
right.
A little bit of
I like that,
nice
Timmy.
holiday spot too on the Sunshine.
I like that. Matty Dunn could be headed for the Cosy there's a few options, but without parallel today.
Yeah, look, I would have thought Without Parallel is probably the first horse picked for the Kosciuszko, and that's even depending on today. Look, and from a punting point of view, she's $11, but if she wins today, and she's favourite to win today, she will surely be the new favourite for the Kosciuszko. So Matt Dunn has got a big bearing on what's going to happen. I think she'll be one of a number of runners that Matt Dunn will have, but she will certainly be the top seed as far as that place is concerned. And look, she's 4 out of 4. You can't do much more than that. And the way she wins, she's very dominant every time she wins, and every time she wins, she's in a harder race. So you can't ask for much more than that. And when she does go back to the Kosciuszko, well, I'm assuming she'll get there, she'll be racing country horses as opposed to what she's racing today and maybe beating today.
Yeah, Jolly Star, Peter Tye mentioned to us, or virtually confirmed last week, that Jolly Star will be their pick. His and, he's with Waller in the Everest. But she'll trial Tuesday. But looking back, Private Harry?
Trialled the house down, didn't he? I mean, I know he's a nice trial horse. He does this the whole time, but by gee, looks well. And, I was thinking last week when we were talking, they're racing for second with Ka Ying Rising, but I'm not quite as certain now because the thing about Private Harry, guys, he's 5 out of 5. He won his maiden on Golden Eagle Day in Newcastle, and 5 Stars Lady won the Galaxy, which is a Group 1. So, you know, we all know Ka Ying Rising's a fantastic horse, but, you know, the potential that Private Harry has, the ability that he's already shown, I mean, he's a horse with no ceiling, and that's the thing. You know, we don't know what's going to test Private Harry, what's going to drive him to his absolute limit. I suspect it's Ka Ying Rising, but maybe he's definitely going to have the home ground advantage. He's trialling up beautifully, as you saw the other day. He's won 2 trials now by about 3 or 4 lengths, untouched each time. So, yeah, look, Private Harry's the horse that we probably most likely to challenge Ka Ying Rising if there is one. But that's not to say Jolie Star couldn't do it. She's been unlucky
And
before.
such a great story too. We still have quite the field to make up yet. Before we let you go, Timmy just touched on it. Tuesday's trial, it'll be a good one.
It will be a good one. Yeah, we've got Jolie Star is trialling herself, so she'll be one to watch. And also trialling is Black Caviar's nephew. His name's Nepotism. He is a Group 1 winner at his last start, and he's also the favourite for the Golden Rose. So all these horses that are racing today that are trying to become favourite for the Golden Rose, well, we're going to see him in a barrier trial on Tuesday. He's a terrific horse. Not to say the others aren't today.
Good on you, Shano. Good to see you.
Likewise.
All right, we'll chat real soon now. How good is Hawkesbury trainer Brad Widdop going? Shane and I were talking about him before. After 8 years in business by himself, he started with just a few horses. He's just grown it into something special.
Yeah, things are going very well for him on the racetrack. There was quite a win in the Silver Shadow Stakes by Savvy Halley as well.
And we're locked and loaded for the Cintoro Silver Shadow Stakes. Ready to run. Racing.
But Savvy Halley a length in front. Within the law is chipping away. Savvy Halley still in front, and Savvy Halley wins the Silver Shadow Stakes by 3/4.
Yeah, look, she looks a really progressive filly. You know, very good effort to do what she did on Saturday. She's come through really well, and we'll keep progressing with her for sure.
So the Furious?
Yeah, she'll go the Furious, and look, I'll see how she goes there and make up which way we go regarding the rest of the spring. But you know, obviously the Princess Series, we'll be looking at that.
How good is she?
Look, I think she definitely loves a bit of cut in the ground, but she's had 6 starts, 2 wins and 3 seconds, all at a good level. So very natural horse, and look, I think she's a very nice filly. She's got a great racing brain, very tractable filly, so I'm sure there's a lot in store for her.
For this year's Challenge Stakes, and they're racing. Well, it's a pretty even line out of the gate. IME trying to come off the fence. Jetabil is slicing through. Kamachi with a good run late. Here's Jetabil going after Uncommon James, and Jetabil lets down. Wins the Challenge Stakes. Kamachi's got up to run second. IME third.
Jetabil's another very talented horse. Concord for him?
Yeah, I'd like to stay in Sydney if I can. There's obviously a race in Melbourne, same day. Just try to give ourselves the best option moving forward. But look, he's not at the top bracket, but he's not far away, and I'm sure if we can place him well, he'll run terrific. Yeah, I started with 4 horses and went to 23, went to 33, and just kept building on there. We hold 70 now. So yeah, it's been a nice slow progression, but you know, did come on very quickly. The numbers built quickly, but we just built it up slowly after that.
It was a real leap of faith for you to go from Godolphin to go out by yourself.
Yeah, it was. Look, I was very happy there. It was a great job, and this just come about at the probably the right time. There's a bit of changing going on there, and my kids were getting a bit older, so we got them through the younger times, and yeah, no, it's been a great move out here, and I've really enjoyed it.
We've seen Rosie, who is right beside you the whole way. She's been with you since nearly the start from the United Kingdom. You must be so happy and thankful that you've got great staff.
Yeah, it's a big part of it as well. We have got a good team of staff, and yeah, Rosie's been with me from day one, and she's seen all the highs and lows, and look, great bunch of staff, and that's a big part of it.
I have been working for Brad since the very beginning, so we're looking at about 8 years now. I started my racing journey with him. I was originally a track work rider for him, and as the years have gone on, I've progressed in my career, and I'm now assistant trainer to him. I originally was a eventer back in the UK and came over to Australia to do eventing, and the racing caught my eye, and it's now a big part of my life and a big passion for me. I've been lucky enough to ride some really lovely horses for Brad. Ice Bath, Brad's Group 1 horse, we sort of went up the grades together, and I was in Melbourne with her for her Group 1, which is a massive thrill. And all the other wins that we've had here at Hawkesbury with Brad, it's been a massive journey, and I can't wait to see the future. Horses have always been a passion of mine, and the racing, it's just a massive thrill. It's something that you just end up loving it.
The lights on for the Star Doncaster. Stand by for a break. Here we go. Last of the Group 1s today. And they're off and racing.
And Ice Bath up the inside. Cascadian wide out. Delasan through the centre. Ice Bath along the rails. It's Ice Bath and Cascadian. Ice Bath, Cascadian. I think Jamie Carr's won it. Cascadian the outside of Ice Bath, and the great finish to the Doncaster.
What would be the ultimate race for you to win?
The Doncaster. Come very close with Ice Bath. We ran second and third. So I've always just loved the mile handicap at Randwick. It's easy to say Golden Slipper Melbourne Cup, but I really love the Doncaster.
And the spring in Sydney is superb now, isn't it? Give you guys so many options.
Yeah, look, we can't complain at all. Everything about racing in New South Wales, it's just dramatically improved over the last 10 to 15 years. It's been unbelievable, really, and I think you've got to be pretty tough if you're whinging.
Welcome back to Racing Dreams. Well, what a week it has been for young jockey Molly Bourke. It all started the trials on Monday at Hawkesbury, Timmy.
Yeah, absolutely, Jules. Today she will be riding at Rosehill, then putting the gloves on tonight for a charity fight. I caught up with Molly for Racing Dreams. So Molly Bourke, trials at Hawkesbury. Do you love getting out and about?
Yeah, you got to, I guess, with this job, but it's good the track's not too wet today, so not copping too much kickback yet.
Well, let's look back before we look forward. And last Saturday, a promising horse in the Silver Shadow came fifth.
Yeah, changed my address. Sarge actually owns this horse with him and his family, and she looks like a very progressive filly so far. She's only had the one winner first race start. Her second start was probably a little bit disappointing, but she had excuses, and then she's come out in the Silver Shadow first up and ran a very good fifth, and I think she'll be a horse that will see the best of her over a bit further as well, so it's exciting times.
Floating moves to the lead, he boots away. Floating puts up 2 or 3 lengths. He sprinted right away. Converges coming out of the pack. Then Stockman and Townsend. State of America's a bit one pace from He's a Shocker. Floating 150 to go. There's one danger only, it's Converge. But Floating's going well. In fact, there's no danger. 100 metres to go. It's all Floating. And Floating's going to destroy them here in the ATC Cup. Beat Converge.
It's all Floating. Molly Bourke, the smiles have already started as they hit the line.
He's got to be one of my favourites. He's a beautiful big grey fella, and I'd only had one ride on him prior to the ATC Cup. I ran second on him down at a race at Newcastle, and I was so thankful for Matt to give me the opportunity to ride him in a non-claiming race. And everything worked out that day. He had one of the widest gates. I managed to get the 1-1, which he doesn't usually run that close in running, so I think everyone was a bit like, oh, what's she doing here? But look, he loved the wet that day and it paid off, and it was a very exciting win.
Felix Majestic, joined by Briasa. Chrysaor's running on, so's Rustic Steel, but Felix and Briasa are fighting it out. Felix Majestic, Briasa, they draw down to the line. Bob and go, might be Briasa. Has he done it? He's lunged at Felix Majestic and it's very close. Heads are bobbing. Wait for the judge.
Briasa has beaten a very gallant Felix Majestic. It didn't look like they were going to run him down.
You just missed in the Hunter, just.
Yeah, look, Felix Majestic, he's been an absolute great horse to me. He's given me a few group placings now, and yeah, to go that close into Group 2 and Tyler Schiller who won it, obviously he gave me a bit of false hope after the post. He said, I think you got it. But anyway, it was still a thrill to be in the finish like that.
Palmetto, really talented horse. That was a good fourth the other day.
Yeah, look, he's come back in great condition. He's like a wine. He gets better with age. Look, he's getting really good. He come back his 2 trials. His prep against really nice horses were quite impressive. And the other day, that run was really gallant. He just probably felt the pinch late, which we expected, but it was a very good performance.
All right, and so a busy day on horses, and then the fight for charity. Tell us about that. How much have you been training, and tell us a little bit about what's going to happen on Saturday night.
Yeah, look, so Executive Fighter, they approached me a couple of months back and said they're going to be doing this charity fight. And yeah, it's something probably I've never thought of doing, but I thought, why not give something a crack, a bit out of my comfort zone. But yeah, we've been training 5 days a week. Obviously with racing, I can't get to most of them. I do a bit of side training with Trent Langlands and that, but it's been a great experience, just even the training for it. You're meeting new people, and it's definitely a great fitness for the sport I do. It's amazing how much fitness you need to fight, and yeah, it's been great learning a new sport like that. And yeah, to go raise such good money for a charity like that has been amazing, and we get to see a few videos of them doing a walk through the hospital and that to see where the money's going to, and it's very inspiring. So it's going to be a great night, and yeah, to bring family and friends there. I've got 2 full tables of family and friends coming, so it'll be an exciting night and a bit of fun.
Well, all the best with all of it, of course, a big Saturday. Just finally, John Sargent, I want to ask you about him again because we're a year down the track. He's such a good fella. I ran into him at the races the other day.
Yeah, he definitely is. Look, he's a great boss to work for. He probably hits home a bit for me. He's very much like a country stable. He gives you that environment. And look, Sarge won't miss the fight. He'll be there on Saturday front row watching me. So he's a great supporter, and yeah, it's good to have him by my side.
Good luck, Molly.
Oh, she's so great. And I've seen her work out at Trent Langland's gym before. She's strong, she is tough. She will give it everything there tonight. So
Absolutely.
Such a great little story.
And another one of the industry that just, you ring, yes, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to Racing New South Wales who make this show possible, Julie.
And thank you for watching. We will see you next week for another episode of Racing Dreams.
See you then.